What's good? We back with the Boxing Clinic and more. Told you guys had a new installment coming talking about hood stories. A lot of the guys wanted me to speak on it. I'm gonna start an installment. But y'all know what it is. One time for the one time, your boy CJ Goodfellow. If I didn't introduce myself already, and this is episode volume 1. Highlighting the Jeezy and Gucci Man beef and where it started at. Now, I'm gonna rapidly do some of these hood stories in the beginning, and then may turn into a once, twice, maybe 3 times a week type of thing. This is episode 1, all right? And one of the most popularized rap beefs in the early 2000s was Jeezy and Gucci Man. And just a lot of people know they went back and forth and beef and a lot of people don't even know where the beef stemmed from, all right? And this is really spilled outside the booth with 2 street dudes, and Gucci Man and Jeezy. It resulted into Jeezy putting a bounty on Gucci Man's head for So Icy chain that Gucci Man allegedly stretched. Well, actually killed the guy that Jeezy sent to go take his chain. So it really got serious. And where it started at from was that they were cool at first. They was touted to probably one day do a joint venture, a joint album together, a dual album together. They was part of the rising trap scene in Atlanta, man. T.I. claimed to do it first, but these guys were really the glue to that trap music. Gucci Man and Jeezy, and Jeezy was just starting to bubble after the whole BMF thing was kind of running his course, and him and Gucci hooked up on a song called So Icy on Gucci Man's Trap House album, all right? And it blew up, you know what I'm saying? And Gucci Man's team reached out to Young Jeezy to do a show together, performing that song, but Jeezy team declined, and Gucci Man's team took that the wrong way. It may have been somebody in Gucci Man's ear, like, man, he just acted funny, whatever it may be. And Gucci took that and ran off with it. But what they didn't know is Jeezy was coming off a sickness where he couldn't talk. He had polyps on his throat. And they kept it all, under wraps, because I guess he was getting ready to sign a record deal. I guess he had signed a record deal already with Def Jam. He had did the Can't Ban the Snowman or Trap or Die mixtape. Both of those might have been done by them. I'm pretty sure Come Shop With Me was already done. All that pretty much was done. He was working on his first album. He had surgery pause or something with his facial nerves in his face stopped working or was paralyzed, and they got through that sickness, and then he had polyps on his throat. They sent him to a show, do it in Jacksonville, and he was yelling and screaming too loud. He didn't know how to perform, really. He was yelling and screaming and not just letting the mic do his thing, and said that he felt it when his voice went out. Eventually he had to get surgery, put his own money up, didn't have no insurance, and they didn't know if he was going to be able to sound the same, talk again, and they kept it under wraps. They kept it real quiet and hush, and they didn't even tell Gucci Man team. So when Gucci Man team reached out to Jeezy to do the So Icy show, wherever it may be, they took it as a sign of disrespect that Jeezy declined, and they just took it at Jeezy was acting funny, and his team felt like they was better than them. He got this album coming out, and he don't want to really mess with us like that. He think he bigger than us, and his album had a bigger push than Gucci Man. Like I guess Gucci Man already knew that album had a bigger push than his, because Gucci Man album didn't have the push that Jeezy album had. You know what I'm saying? Jeezy had Def Jam behind him, like a major record label behind him. Jay-Z, all those guys was pushing Thug Motivation 101, and maybe Gucci Man felt some type of jealousy. Okay, so then, Jeezy said that they popped up with Gucci Man versus Jeezy Volume 1. And I guess they took, Gucci Man took it as beef. He took it to heart, real emotional it sounded like. And then Jeezy said, he was sick, he couldn't rap, but he went into the booth and recorded Stay Strapped, which was one of the most underrated diss records. It was definitely a better diss record than Back to Back. That was so overrated by Drake. He recorded that record, and then they was beefing. They was beefing. He didn't even know he was in rap beef. And he was beefing, man. And, it just came from miscommunications. Just something they was trying to keep under wraps about Jeezy's health, because they didn't know what was going to happen. They didn't want it to be public. and and really stress the dude out. But he said that he was just by himself and he didn't keep many people around him, and so not even miscommunication, some assumption. And see how assumption can turn to something just as deadly as Gucci Mane having to stretch a guy for trying to stash his chain. And this beef went to a whole nother level. And Gucci Mane had reached out to Jeezy about a couple years ago, see if they could work together again. And Jeezy told him, he did an interview, told him like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. Somebody got killed. They was putting bounties on his head. And, at the end of the day, it sounded like Gucci Mane felt some type of way when he didn't have to. And I don't know how long that he learned that about this situation, about Jeezy throat and his sickness. But he just took it the wrong way. And just assumption and instigation can just turn something as simple as, turning down and doing a show with him to somebody getting killed in a wars and some, real street shit spilling outside the booth. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, just as simple as that, man. That simple little segment is how Gucci Mane and Jeezy start beefing. And Jeezy said he had never performed that song again, And that's how deep it got, man. And they was, they really kept Atlanta on the map after that Ludacris era. It was them and T.I. They was really integral parts into the Atlanta music scene booming. And they was integral parts of trap music. I think they got some of the best trap music discovery out there, man. But yeah, man, value 1 in the books, episode 1 of the books, and it's as simple as that, man. And you can find this story on the Hustler Ambition documentary by Young Jeezy on YouTube. Matter of fact, I'll link into the description if you haven't seen it. I've been knew about this. I just wanted to bring this to light. I know it's one of the deep hip-hop beefs for this generation, or my generation. I know a lot of people wanted to learn about it and hear about it. I didn't know if everybody knew how this beef materialized. All right, but yeah, man, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The links are in the description. Also, check out our new college sports page. That link is in the description as well. Also, if you want to donate, the PayPal links in the description. This is episode 1. I'm gonna be hitting y'all with episode 2. And check out our new Raw and Uncut podcast, Triple Rated R, featuring the Cali Enigma and myself. Just go ahead and click on the podcast link. It'll take you straight to the Castbox app. Sign up with your Facebook or Google account. And go ahead and check out the 9 episodes we got. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell icon. One time for the one time we gone.